So it did happen very organically. So once I work through getting that first donation, and that first donation of my 16 bras and a couple packages of maxi pads actually turned out to be, we donated over 8,100 products. Okay, so it wasn't even just six, it was my 16 bras from my drawer, but I just shared the information with, neighborhood friends and listservs, and it got shared and reshared. And one of the things that happened was, and I guess it was a slow news cycle. My local paper, as I said, I'm from the DC area. So my local newspaper is the Washington Post, which I do know is like a fairly well read, when, like when, as people read newspapers, it's a fairly well read publication, both online and in hard copy. And they wanted to do a story and come to my house. And I said, well, I don't think the story is about me for a lot of privileged reasons. I'm a professional, middle aged, white, comfortable mom who lives in the suburbs. And the story is about why women in DC, again, because this was before it went nationally and internationally, it was just thinking locally here, in the DC metropolitan region, why women don't have access to these basic essential items around bras and menstrual hygiene products. And why is that? And what can we do? And let's hear from them. So I didn't want the interviews to be at my house. And then instead, when I reached back out to the shelter that I was working with to do this collection drive and said, a reporter at the Washington Post who would like to do this story. I think the story should be more on telling from your clients' voices, if there are folks that would like to share their story, and what the services that you provide are. And they can talk about, sure, here's 1,000 bras and 7,000, pads and tampons, but like, let's talk about the reality of why this is a need and what is happening here in our society. So they did the story in the Washington Post, and it was a cover story. It was like a cover page, and it was very well received. It was on the weekend edition, and a lot of people read it. Because I thought I was done, right? I thought I was like, here's the collection, here's the drive, here's the donation to this incredible organization that I've been supporting for a long time. And sure, we could do an interview. So we did the interview. Then the story came out. I was like, okay, well, that's cute. Like, my mom loved it, right? Like, like daughters in the newspaper, my mom happy. Um, but I I thought I was done, Stephanie. That's why you were like, starting this nonprofit. I was like, no, this is an accident. Like, it's one thing to be like, here's a collection and a drive, and like collectively, like we were doing something good, and that was awesome. But I didn't have visions of expansion or growth or millions of products or a staff. Like, no, 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 no. This was, all right, I'm done. And let's keep the conversation going online, right? But that's not what society had for me. And I think that's important, is when you're tapping into the zeitgeist of where society is in that moment in time, what they want to talk about, that is a lot of what was happening.